like to call the meeting to order of the Board of Leavenworth County Commission. I'd like to invite everyone to stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For the record, all three commissioners are present and would like to introduce our newest addition to the commission board is Mr. Lewis Klemp. For those of you who do not know him, Mr. Klemp was chosen to replace Commissioner Graber. So, I'd like to start off with public comment. And like I said, on the public comment, we really want to hear your public comments, and we want to hear comments, but anything that would require a vote or anything, we probably ought to get it on the agenda. But that public comment is open for anyone to come to the podium and state their name and address.
Rocky Hempel, 122 South Village Terrace, Tonganoxie. And my question is to the newest commissioner. I'd like to know your position as far as Tyson in the Tonganoxie area.
My position is sitting up here with two other commissioners. If it comes back, we have to honor whatever their legal requests are. What my position is will be revealed at that time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Steve Myers, 222-49 219th. And we've got our third commissioner. Could we get Mr. Holland's report on his visit to the Tyson plant?
That'd be up to Commissioner Holland.
It was promised to us.
It was promised to you, but it was promised to you before the funding was taken away. And as I've answered before, that it's kind of, there's, why do we want to bring this up when there's nothing that can be resolved by it?
Well, you went there as representing us, and I'd like to hear what you have to say about it. You told the press that you didn't get to comment at the meetings and what have you. We want to hear your side.
You want to hear my side after the process is dead?
The process is not done yet.
Well, when it comes back, I will give you the report.
That's your answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak? I'd like to move administrative business to the end. We've got a couple department heads here that need to get some stuff resolved or taken care of. But has Commissioner Holland, have you had a chance to look at the minutes?
I have a motion to approve the minutes as stated.
Second, voting. Aye. I got some OCBs to sign.
A motion to approve the OCBs as have the chairman sign and date.
Second.
Voting.
Aye.
Aye. Oh. And I guess we're ready to review, or the appraiser's office, review your disaster relief application. I'll get my glasses off so I can see my reading.
Morning.
Morning, Bob.
We have a disaster relief application for 17420 Kentville Road. The property was destroyed or substantially destroyed. That's not the case. Destroyed by fire on June 4th, 2017. Where cause the Board of County Commissioners to grant state part all the taxes on homestead substantially destroyed due to earthquake, flood, fire, tornado after January 1st, but prior to August 15th. Homestead is any dwelling owned and rented which is occupied as a residence, and substantially destroyed means the damage exceeds 50% of the market value of the structure before the damage occurred. So the repair of the damage. And in this case, the home had the market value of the structure was $200,630 as of January 1st, 2017. Replacement cost of those components is $349,700. Depreciation is $281.89 from the documents. And I have that document attached. You should have that document which explains that. So what we usually do in these cases is we prorate taxes from the date after the fire on the building that was destroyed. So the assessed value, I have the assessed value of land is $5,367, house is $23,073. Prorated off for 210 days, it's $13,275 in assessed value, which leaves you with a prorated value of the house of $9,798. These abatements are up to the Board of County Commissioners. But we have estimates and we have pictures that show the houses.
Commissioners have any questions on this? I mean, it's just the right thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think common sense plays into this.
Right.
So what you're looking for is you're looking for a base of $13,275, assessed value approximately $1,574, a property tax for the year 2017.
That is correct.
That's my motion to approve.
Second.
Voting. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do I need to sign this? Or-
Yeah.
She's got a copy. Okay. All right, I'll give it to you. Okay, I overlooked approving the agenda for next week. Have commissioners had a chance to look at the agenda for next week?
Yes, I have, and I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as stated.
Voting.
Got any
Aye.
addition? Anybody need it?
I think we're
Aye.
good. All right, we're ready for Mr. Lujan. We're staying right on track here.
Morning, Commissioners. Public Works Department is requesting a transfer of funds from the Stranger Township RIF account to the 2017 Road and Bridge budget. These funds will be used for the 179th Street project to pay for utility relocation, easement acquisition, and fence construction. We're asking for a transfer of $50,000.
Okay. Commissioner, got any questions?
I do.
Okay.
In the TIF program, how much does this empty the TIF program? Or
The
is there
RIF
still
this is the
funding
RIF.
left?
This is the RIF account.
Or RIF
There's-
account.
There's a little over $500,000 in this township
so
RIF account.
It's
We got plenty of money there.
plenty of
We're
money
gonna
there.
start
That's,
spending it.
that's what I want to do.
There's funding in there to cover this project.
Okay.
Commissioner Flint?
Is this a PRP program? What is this?
It's not a PRP project, no.
What project is it?
It's just a road improvement project.
I had asked for a old road list because this here is 179th Street. I cannot vote for it. I would like to know, and I can present all this, but we really don't want to sit that long and listen to it. I don't believe. But there are many questions on 179th Street. How it occurred, why did it occur? I can't answer those questions, but somebody can. did the first 400 feet, and I think it was 450 feet that was done for the cemetery. And I can relate to what they were saying, because when I go to my grandparents' cemetery plot, and I'm on a dusty road, that's not good. So that was done for them, but it was done by another commission. It was not done when I was there. It was the next commission did it. I know it came up. So I'd like to set it back. I'd like to have somebody answer all these questions. If you can't answer, my vote will always be no, because I just don't see any lot. You know, it was moved from PRP, and then they moved the system up here, moved it to somebody else, to another program, and it's been constantly pushed. Maybe we have to get Mr. Stigmar here. I don't know. But I'd like the questions that answer why this road was moved forward before I vote yes.
All I can tell you, Commissioner, is it started out as a PRP prior to my coming here to the county. They didn't fulfill the requirements of the PRP. Previous board directed it to be taken off the PRP list and be done as just a regular road improvement project. As far as why, I can't answer. That's not a question I can answer as far as why.
Well, they have a new program brought in that has road count. I'm sure the road count was significant, probably around 400 or 500 moving forward.
It would, this section of road would not qualify for the current PRP program.
Thank you very much. So, unless those answers are brought forth, I don't know how you get those answers, because I wasn't here, but I did.
You're absolutely correct. It was a previous board that did this, but the county does have quite a bit of money invested in this with condemnation, dust control in it. I agree that we need to do the highest traffic count roads. That's why I think 182nd Street's very important to do, and it's good to know that Stranger Township, that the public knows that Stranger Township has over $500,000 in their road improvement fund, and I think we need to start spending it on design and survey and property acquisition and utility relocation on these roads. I'm going to tell you that the 3rd District is way behind in hard surfacing roads. That's where the growth is at. We're, like I said, I think Commissioner Holland has 150 miles. You have probably less than 10 miles in your district. So, did I agree how this road came to life? No, but we're too far in, and it does loop and tie another blacktop together. So it does fulfill that.
How much has been, one more question, how much has been spent on this so far?
To date, approximately, not including the dust control, Public Works has spent approximately $32,000.
32,000.
And then
How much is left to go?
With utility relocation and construction, I'd estimate about $350,000.
350.
and I think we have some property acquisition. Are you counting that?
It's property acquisition has been completed.
Okay, and that's counting. That's in your 32.
That's in the
Okay.
32,000.
Okay, and then we done dust control 3 times?
At least twice.
Twice, I think.
Just twice? Okay.
I think
12,000.
I would like to answer one question, and I think you hit upon it, that we're
Tying another
we're
blacktop.
tying another blacktop to another blacktop. And in other words, there's taxpayers that live in between these 2 sections of blacktop, and we're just tying the 2 together. Was the idea. The people come forward and ask that this be put on the PRP program, and we felt that it wasn't a PRP project. I was involved in that back in the day.
Well, 32,000 compared to 350,000 more, is it 182nd? And as I go through, has that been completed? We're
No.
going to have to allot money for that?
No, we are acquiring right away at this point. That project is not even in our 2018 budget.
How many taxpayers live on this road?
On 182nd,
No, on 179.
the stretch we're doing, there was around 20.
20.
About 20 parcels that we had to deal with.
count? What is road count?
On 179th, I believe it was between 300 and 400, I don't remember the exact.
300 and 400.
So
amazing for that gravel
that's a
road.
pretty good road count.
Well, they come from Donahue,
Yeah.
from the west too.
Yeah, but you can go east and west on Donahue, you can go east
Right.
and west on,
Mhm.
that's beside point, and you brought up a good point. There's 115,000 Alexandria, 13,000 in Delaware, there's 103,000 in Easton, there's 362,000 Fairmount, High Prairie has 238,000, goes on up, and we got a couple there with 500,000, Sherman, Granger, and Tonganoxie. So you're right, the roads need to be improved, but.
And that's why I think this previous board approved another engineer in David's office to
Right.
work on secondary roads, and we're
That's
going, we have a plan, and we'll get a plan, and we'll plan our work and work our plan. So, but there is funds available in these townships that can get these projects started, because David had a shelf down there with projects ready to go, shovel-ready projects. It's, you know, sales tax money comes, I think our sales tax is doing really well. I think it's exceeding what we expected.
It
I
is.
think there will be funds available to start working on these roads.
In the proper order, so you know my position is.
Right, it is traffic count.
I'm right with you, Louis, that
It's traffic
I
count.
want to do it in the proper order.
Yep, proper order, and it didn't qualify.
Sure.
We need-
That's why we took it kind of out of our position and gave it to David. I was all in favor of that. It still has to come back to us for approval, but David does the work on it to, I guess, get the right parcels that come in as the highest road counts. And back then, we didn't have, the road count wasn't part of the PRP process.
But anyway, so that, you're ready to make a motion to transfer these funds?
Yes, I'll make a motion to transfer these funds.
Second.
It'd be a board order,
Oh,
gentlemen,
so,
which is what number, Becky? 5. Board order number 5.
2017-5.
I'll second that. Voting?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Public Works? Okay. Got anything under admin business, Mr. Lawfrey or Mr. Van Perry's?
I'd just like to remind the board that Monday will be our quarterly department head meeting, so all the department heads will be up here to meet with the board.
Okay, looking forward to that.
Has that been emphasized to all departments?
All departments have been invited as they are each quarter. They've been notified and it is on the agenda for next week.
Okay, and how are we coming on our personnel record leak? Is the sheriff going to investigate, or does the chairman need to sign a complaint to get the sheriff to investigate, or how are we coming on that?
As I stated last time, that has been turned over to the sheriff, and my understanding is the county attorney also is looking into it. It'll be up to them to decide what action they take if they believe there's been some kind of criminal activity that needs to be followed up on. That's my role in it, and that's what.
Okay, so we don't need to sign an official complaint for them to investigate?
Again, that would be the sheriff's call or the county attorney. If they do
Okay.
that, they will contact us, I'm sure.
Can we get something to them stating we would like that done in a certain amount of time, or at least his request? I understand there are several departments, and it was, I've got a memo here from one of them says, you know, we're going to do our own thing. That has been the county attorney and the sheriff. And if I need to pull it out, I'll go through it, pull that out. They are part of Leavenworth County. So.
They are part of Leavenworth County, and they are the chief law enforcement agencies for us.
Well,
And
they
that's,
need to reply.
and we have turned it in, and I can ask them for an official reply. That's what I'll do.
And if he needs that letter, we can get that letter drawn up and get that to him.
Okay. And how are we coming on the qualifications and criteria for the KCATA board member? I mean, I had my own. I think it should be an elected official, and I think it should be, somebody from the city of Leavenworth, because city of Leavenworth is going to be the first mass transit, you know.
We did bring that up previously. There was discussion on that, and at that time, the board decided to leave the person who's on there until their term expires, and I think there's 1 year left. And that's what it was last time it was brought up, sir.
Okay.
Have we approached the city of Leavenworth, or say, do you have somebody that wants to serve in that position?
I believe there has been.
I think somebody has maybe expressed interest, but there would be no need for us to approach them yet because there's not an opening on the board.
Not a what?
There's not an opening yet. That
I
person's
move that
term.
we remove the gentleman that is serving in that position.
I'll second it. Voting?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Now there's an opening on that board.
That's effective immediately?
Effective immediately.
We can send notification to the KCATA and let them know that has been done. And then we can also, I know that there has been a person who's expressed interest. We can maybe reach out to that person.
Talk to
make sure
Mr. Kramer?
Yeah,
See.
make sure that's the board's direction.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, you got anything else?
I do.
Okay.
I'd like to ask for an executive session for non-elected personnel.
Okay.
I'll do that.
That's
I'll need a state statute on that.
Mr. Chairman, members of this commission, and Commissioner Clement, I'd like to the board and also wish you. Appropriate motion might be I move that we recess into executive session as allowed by KSA 75-4319, subsection B, subsection 1, to discuss non-elected personnel in order to protect the privacy interest of the employee involved, and that we reconvene in open session in the commission meeting room at.
How many minutes do you think you need, Commissioner?
15.
So at 9:25 and turn in at 9:40?
Yes.
I would second that after I get my discussion.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Do you want discussion on it?
No, I want to do my,
Oh, okay, before executive session? Okay, so we'll hold off on the motion? All
Okay.
right, then we'll go, but we'll have to change the time.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Plant.
any of these that you feel needs a motion, I'll do a motion, okay? I'd like a moment of silence after we do the pledge.
I agree.
I agree.
Need a motion for that? Agree to that?
That's consensus.
Yes.
During the time that I could talk to the commissioners, I did talk to one of the commissioners, and then of course, Councilwoman Lynn, about changing the meeting day. I'd like to do it on Tuesday, 10 to 2 in the morning, and 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the evening, every Tuesday. And I'd like that to start, we had discussed 1st of January, but I'd like to work into it versus December.
I agree with that except for the marked meetings
Yeah.
on
You're going to
Tuesday.
interfere with a lot of meetings there.
Just the Mid-America Regional Council meeting.
And I have workforce meetings.
And Mr. Van Paris, you had,
Mr. Chairman, members of this commission, if I could suggest, it might be beneficial to consider adopting a blanket meeting policy and then specify meetings as you deem fit. Specifically, you might set your regular meeting days to be Monday through Friday with regular meetings scheduled for Tuesday from 10 to noon, and in the evening at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., all conducted in this meeting room, and as other meetings as needed, and that would cover the MARC meetings and other meetings where commission or the commission of the body would be invited to. I'm thinking about Port Authority meetings, KCATA meetings, other meetings that county business directed or conducted by the board might take place. You always have the option of specifying, quite frankly, meetings anytime you deem fit. You're not required to have meetings in this building. So I think as long as the meeting is announced to the public so that the public can attend, you have great latitude on doing so. You are required by state law to conduct 2 meetings a month, or 2 meetings a week because of your population. The proposed action of Commissioner Klemp would comply with that. So I think you have great latitude, and you should take advantage of that as you schedule your meetings.
Well, I'd like an evening meeting.
Well, I could have said, you know, I can't do an evening meeting on Tuesday because it's
I know, but can we maybe look at something and look at the MARC schedule and maybe change it that week to a different day, on the third week?
It's Mark's meeting, right? So Mark can go.
Mid-America Regional Council.
Oh.
Not Mr. Lawfrey's meeting.
Not Mr.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I should explain that. And they are not local. They're in Kansas City. So, let's
go ahead, sir.
Can we look at this and then we'll take this up at a later
Yeah,
day? But I support that. I'm sure Commissioner Holland does too on evening meetings.
On Mark's agenda, we're pretty low. I mean, when they need air quality, they come to Leavenworth. When they need water quality, they come to Leavenworth.
Thank God we got
When
that.
they need roads quality, they come to Leavenworth. They come to Leavenworth on everything. So, not that it isn't an important meeting, because I think we may have found that true on one of our roads, that it would have been good to have somebody there, but I think Mark is our official, and so I don't mind looking into it.
Okay.
But we need to look into it.
We will do it very quickly, and you'll do yours part and I'll do mine. Would that be fair enough, Commissioner Holland? Okay.
And I've got about 7 more.
7?
Yeah, you get
Okay.
public comments, and I think that was good, that, if you're going to have a comment, come up and make a comment. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, because I know there were a lot of them. And I guess we could get a timer. Let's get a timer.
No, let's not get a timer.
I sure missed that.
I don't.
But it needs to be brief, and we just can't make a decision at that time. There's some things we can, but our job up here is budget and policy. And whenever you can't hear back here, raise your hand, please.
Is your microphone on, Commissioner?
No, I don't.
You don't use that microphone? Is the green light on?
No. We couldn't talk, so.
I can't see it. Is there a green light?
I don't think you need a microphone, Louis.
There you go. Hold on.
Okay, I'll back up a little bit.
Chair fell apart.
Yeah. I move that we get the chair fixed. Okay. Budget and policy, okay? I don't know who doesn't understand that. We got somebody wants to have 5 county commissioners. That gentleman right there and the gentleman before and the lady before that have never been used as the county administrator. County administrator runs the county through the department heads. Runs the county.
I agree.
We are policy. So I would like for us to get to that position where we are not trying to run the county, and he runs the county, we evaluate him, we don't like him for some reason, I think he's capable of doing a good job, he can prove that one way or the other. So, no, I fib to you, I can take one off here. I don't want to talk about fire districts and You did mention, and we need to have that report, the update of how much more money it's bringing in, sales tax.
Sales tax, yes. That would be probably at the end of the quarter, would be an appropriate time.
Yeah. So, okay. List for the tax projects. This just keeps going on and on. Planning board votes 8-0, or votes 6-0, and we up here, we don't care about what planning board, maybe we do, but somewhere we need to listen to the planning board. It doesn't mean anybody's being blocked out. You can always appeal, but to me, to have the 15 mini homes come into Leavenworth County, I don't think we need that. So I think we need any board that gives us a recommendation. We have to listen to that board, and that can become a part of what the county administrator does. And maybe we need to come up with a consent agenda. This bit of sitting up here for hours and hours and hours talking about, and I made a mistake, and Bob corrected me, and that was good, Bob. 54 pages. Well, there were 54 pages. It just happened to be.
I was going to say, I didn't read 54
Yeah.
pages.
Well, I did.
Before we did.
But it was
Yeah,
the week before.
The week before we did.
So that was a mistake.
Yes.
But we don't need 54 pages if we can come up with a good consent agenda where the county administrator is doing the job that we have hired him for. Sign in when you want to talk. We had a lady come in and give her name, didn't want to give her address. That's part of the process. Maybe we need to have a class on talking into the mic and not being apprehensive. I noticed that when I was going to the city meetings. Well, I'm not a very good talker. I'm not this. No, you've got a point. You come up, make your comment, give your name and address, and don't feel bad about coming up and talking on the mic, because that's what the system is all about, people being able to communicate with you. Last but not least, I hereby move to return all of human resource operations back to the county clerk's office, effective immediately. All employees of that department are to turn in their fobs and their keys and meet with the county clerk and the appraiser. The human resource office will be sealed until the clerk and the county administrator meet today to discuss the details of how the county clerk will run that part of her office. The county administrator will direct Public Works to immediately change the locks and decide on the security procedures in the future. If the county administrator needs input from the county commission, that will be his call. But I want it done immediately. I want everybody in that office, part of the motion, to be removed from that office and go directly to the county clerk, and the office will be sealed till the administrator and the clerk resolve that. That's my motion.
And is this a permanent, or is this until we find out how personnel files are leaking to the news media?
Well, that's definitely a problem, but as, what was that little guy's name from Independence? Harry Truman said the buck stops here. It doesn't stop here. Any leaks should have been stopped down at the human resource. But that is to be done until the administrator and the clerk decide on how that operation will be run.
Okay, I'll second that. Voting? Aye.
Aye.
Hey,
That's all I have.
Okay, so we're ready for the executive session. What was that statute again? You were gonna make the motion, Mr. Plant?
No, he was going to second it.
Bob did.
made the
All right.
motion.
And I'll second that motion.
All right. And let David read the motion again.
Motion will be in the form of, I move that we recess into executive session as per KSA 754319 subsection B, subsection 1, to discuss non-elected personnel in order to protect the private, to reconvene in open meeting in this commission meeting room at
And who's to be there, Bob?
There's 3 commissioners and HR Director Tamara Copeland.
And the motion would continue, persons to be present would be the 3 board commissioners and human resources director.
Mr. Lawfrey, need to be there?
No,
Mr. Van Paris?
no, just the 3 commissioners and HR.
I want Mr. Lawford.
I want Mr. Lawfrey there.
I don't care about county councilor, but I do want before we go into the executive session, it gets approved, I want the doors secured right now, not tomorrow. That was the, so if somebody's not doing that, we need to get that done now, as the clock ticks. So,
Did this executive session come through you, Mr. Lawfrey? You don't know nothing about it? Then that's not the way it works. We go through the county administrator for employees wanting
so
executive
I'm going to give a
session.
second. So if you get the doors taken care of, I appreciate it.
Motion dies with lack of second.
Is that all on your agenda?
That's it.
I believe we adjourn.
Second, voting.
Aye.
Aye.